Last night's super noddy efforts added in basic gamepad support just because it's far more pleasant to play like that. There's a token score. There's no kind of game structure yet. The player can take shots but he doesn't die yet. And the waves are really super simple. There's just a basically spawner object, and there's only two types at the moment. There's one set that will spawn a few of these ones just coming diagonally from the sides. The other ones are these ones that fly down and have follow the player. So they're 2 lines of code each. Is super naughty stuff. If I pursue this one, I'll add in some proper wave behaviour with sort of wave bounces and probably do some kind of chaining mechanic. Not really one for fancy score mechanics, but it's kind of one thing that makes it a bit more fun to it. But obviously the object of the exercise is just a game style, a weekend at the moment, and all I really need to do with this is to at least have some concept of lives. So I need to just put in a player death, probably have one more enemy type that can shoot you whilst flying, and yeah, like say just put some lives in, just put a basic game over state, and that will do for starters. I mean, the thing with something like this, I'm not quite sure whether to do a massive long map or whether to do it in distinctly different zones, because I think if I do decide to develop this into a bit more of a game, I will probably have a Xenon style shop in between levels, so that means the individual levels will probably be 5 minutes long. I suppose that was what I did when I made this little test map. I made it to be sort of 2 or 3 minutes initially, thinking that, you know, individual sections or individual zones only probably need to be 2 or 3 minutes before you get a little bit of a breather or a change of visual style or something. Haven't really thought about it. Should probably watch a few long play videos of sort of arcade shooters and sort of see how long the individual zones last, but I suspect it's only, you know, a few minutes at most. And then I'll consider whether to actually transition to a different room via a shop, or whether to just pause it, because I mean it's easy enough just to pause the state of the room. And one of the things I wanted to build as part of my general purpose stuff that I can use in anything is just a little controller object that pauses the state of everything else and goes off and does something. So I mean it's pretty much a single line in Game Maker to say, right, save the room state and then come back to it, so you can do that dead easily and jump off to another room. But for things like the platformer, I'd probably like to do a save state that just maybe pops up some kind of dialogue on the top and actually leaves some action going on in the background. It doesn't affect the player, so you'd only want to effectively deactivate certain layers. Not sure, I haven't thought about it yet, but it's all part of just figuring out how it all works in Game Maker Studio really. But another hour or so on this evening just to add some lives in and put a few more enemies in. That'll basically mission accomplished on 4 games in 4 weekends. So then I'll figure out what I'm going to do next.